Yes, my people, welcome to another News Daily with me, Cecil G, and I've got Laurie with me. You good?
Well, go on.
Go on, my people. Me alright still. Obviously, the title of the show today is Arteta to win Manager of the Month, question mark. Now, we're going to run through Arteta's month. We're going to go through it all together and see if he's, obviously, would you agree that he should be Manager of the Month?
I think there's a few candidates, man.
There is a few candidates. We're going to go through a few of the managers as well. But before we get into all of that, there's a lot of news today. It's been, do you know what? It's been a slow news day, but there is news that has happened. They're not massive headlines. It's not the Antonio Conte, it's not the Unai Emery sort of news. But we will discuss that. We'll discuss, have a little bit of talk on that as well, because that is still big news. I know Turkish and James spoke about it yesterday, but let's get cracking straight away. Let's go straight into them. Let's start with Conte. You see expressions and throughout a lot of the Spurs influencers, they're gassed. I see them dancing. I see them with the Italian flag around them.
Really? They've gone that far?
Yeah, they've gone that far, singing Italian songs.
Learning the language, huh?
Learning the language. I see expressions on primetime TV talking about how he's happy to be there. But hopefully he's back. What's your thoughts on Conte going to Tottenham? Because obviously he could have came to Arsenal before Arteta. A lot of fans did say they would have liked Antonio Conte when Arteta wasn't doing too well and going through a dip in the form at the start of the season. A lot of fans were screaming out, let's get Conte in, let's get Conte in. It was obvious that he was gettable because he's now at Spurs, but we didn't go for him. What's your thoughts on him anyway?
Well, you know what? Got to say, pains me to say this, man, but you've got to credit Daniel Levy in pulling that one off, because I didn't see that one coming, man. I mean, I was aware of Spurs having previous interest in Conte.
Yeah.
And what I'd been led to believe, and others had led to believe, he'd turned them down.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought that would have to be the case as well.
And it appeared, to all intents and purposes, that Conte was kind of getting ready to take over at Man United, whenever that would be.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that hasn't happened. Spurs have suffered a recent downturn in form, disastrous form. The mood around the camp weren't good. There's rumours going around that Nuno had lost the dressing room.
Yeah.
I think he kind of indicated that himself, didn't he? Last week he came out and said, I saw some quote from him where he was saying that he wasn't happy with some of the players who were making the starting 11. Their attitude wasn't what it should be. And at that point I remember thinking to myself, he's lost the dressing room. And I thought everyone was building the game up with Man United as this El Sacico, and I thought if they lose, and they lose significantly, that could well be his last game. And I was proven right about that. He's gone. We were all wondering who was coming in. Personally, I thought they were going to go for the Enfield Pep.
The Enfield Pep?
Ryan Mason.
Oh, right. Is that what you're calling him, yeah? Is that what you're calling Enfield Pep?
That's what other people call him.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so I was curious as to know who they would get, as I'm sure you were.
I was as well, massively.
And then when I heard that Conte was in the frame, I was like,
shocked.
I was taken aback.
I was shocked as well.
So I went from laughing at Spurs, and now I'm sort of cautiously looking behind me thinking, man, I mean...
Do you think he'll change things around quickly? Do you think there'll be a manager bounce? Do you?
I do.
He's
that good.
He is good, but he's very stuck in his ways in the sense of, I think he did an interview with Pierre-Emerick when he was back at Chelsea, and he said, like, if there's attitude problems, he will kill. And listen, I know that sounds drastic, but that is his actual words. Like, I will kill them.
I don't doubt that, man.
He's very, but there might be some egos in there that might not work with.
He strikes me as a very intense individual.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And 100%. With that, I think what you get is in the relative short term, you will see his impact around the place. So he will kick ass. I've got no doubt about that.
Are you worried?
I think as an Arsenal fan, you've got to be a little bit concerned, if not worried, because they're not a million miles behind us now. Yeah. And if a guy like that comes in, who's got a reputation of shaking up the place and getting good results, then I could see him having an impact at Spurs.
Interesting. Diego says here, I'm a little worried. I'm going to read the rest of his super chat.
I think if you're an Arsenal fan, you would have right to be concerned, if not worried. Yeah.
It's interesting because obviously I'm gonna read the rest of that super chat, Diego. Big up you. I know you're a regular as well. But there's we saw in Forever Arsenal of recent as well that we are now talking the conversation of top 4 with Arsenal fans is a possibility. I don't know if this signing of Conte changes that. Does Tottenham become a team that kind of go into that position of top 4 as well? Is it still going to be, are fans still saying, no, let's calm down, let's still aim for around top 6, that's where Arsenal are probably going to end up, regardless of the run of form. Tottenham, do you expect us now to finish above them or below them, even with the sign of Conte? And
let's just put it like this. things have now got a little bit more interesting.
Right.
Not that they weren't before, but this has kind of shaken things up. Because let's be honest, man. West Ham, they're playing well.
They are.
They're well managed.
They are.
You know what I mean? So Man United, you can never really count them out.
I think them having Ole at the wheel, Ole at the wheel, it benefits Arsenal. I think that's where fans started to believe in getting confidence that that fourth spot is definitely up for availability for Arsenal. And now that when Nuno was at Tottenham, also people believe fourth is definitely possible. Now, like you said there, it'll be a bit interesting considering they've signed Conte. But I'm going to quickly read this super chat
What
here.
I'll be interested to see is the immediate impact, if any, he's able to have with Harry Kane.
I think that's the question on everyone's lips.
Because if they can get him playing again, they're going to be a force. That is fact.
That's facts. I'll be intrigued. I'll be intrigued to see.
So I'll be interested to see that dynamic, that relationship, how that pans out in the next couple of weeks. If he can get Harry Kane playing, then effectively Spurs are going to start improving and they're going to start steadily climbing up the table. And of course, that's going to impact upon us because they're our rivals, both in terms of proximity and in terms of where we are in the table.
Yeah, I'd love to know what is said to Harry Kane when Conte arrives. Obviously, I know he's in.
Well, he's a different character. He's going to bring a different energy. He's a proven winner.
But would you say Harry Kane stopped playing for Nuno? Because Harry Kane is an elite striker, and just the drying up of goals, it does happen. It happened to our striker, Aubameyang. But I just feel, I don't know, if you're having a dry patch, a change of manager shouldn't really change that unless the manager's going to...
We all know it does.
It does.
You play football.
I have. This is why I'm really questioning this. I'm questioning this because unless Conte goes in and says, we're going to focus our play around Harry Kane and make sure everything goes through him to benefit him getting the goals, then I understand you might get more of a manager bounce, you might get a style of play bounce and think, you know what, I'm the man now, take responsibility. With Nuno, obviously that Harry Kane wasn't firing at all, and I don't know what that was down to. I don't know if that was just down to a bad patch or was the manager changing his style that's not working to Harry Kane. So it'd be, like you said, it'd be intriguing to see.
I think it's a combination of all of those. But I think what you'll get with Conte is that, like I said, he's a proven winner. He's got a massive reputation in the game. He will come in, he will bring a certain energy and he will try and revitalise things and rejuvenate the players. And sometimes it's not always tactics, it's about somebody coming in and shaking the place up.
True.
Different voice, a different energy, guys believing in who they see in front of them, you know what I mean? And then that translates to them sort of the proverbial running through brick walls and pitch. And I would imagine that one of the first things that Conte's going to do, I can see it now, he will be to get Harry Kane in his office.
Yeah.
And say, listen, man, you're my captain. You know what I mean? The team revolves around you. If we're going to do anything, I know you've had your problems with wanting to leave and that, but I really, you know what I mean? He's going to try and present a whole new project to Harry Kane.
Oh,
Harry
project,
Kane,
process, all these P's, all these group managers that they're using. You're right.
I know
you're right.
it's buzzwords, but it's
that's what's going to happen.
That's what I would do. That's what you do, innit?
Yeah.
First thing, you sit your best player down, your captain, you say, listen, I've taken over, new lease of life. He's going to say, forget what happened in the previous ones.
Yeah, I need you to buy into this.
I want you to buy into what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You're spearheading that. You're the best player, and I'm going to have everything based around you. You
get all the support. Me up, right?
Hey, listen, I want the job. Not that job.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? I'm putting myself in the manager's shoes. That's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You're going to gas him up. You're going to say to him, listen, man, I've admired you from afar. I always wanted to sign you. I can't believe I'm working with you.
I don't know if
I've got you convinced.
I don't know if we go that far because Conte's quite a stern person. But he will get him on side.
That's what he'll do. That's what he'll do.
Yeah.
You ain't going to come in all guns blazing. You know what I mean? He's going to get you on side. Yeah, that's what good managers do.
He's going to need to.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to need to. I want to read this, obviously, the rest of the super chat here. So Diego says, I'm a little worried because Conte and Paratisi there you go. Terrible pronunciation.
Let's call him paracetamol.
Have worked together, so let's see what happens. I hope this puts Arteta and the board on their toes.
Of course it will.
It will. It definitely will. They're our rivals. Obviously, we did slap them. We really did in our last game against Spurs. But it will definitely keep them on their toes. I feel that
we can't come over obsessed with Spurs.
No, we
There's
can't.
other threats to us. Like as I mentioned, West Ham.
Yeah, like back in the day.
What I mean? Don't sleep on West Ham. Man.
It's very true, Laurie. And you say that's a very good point because back in the day, I never used to really worry about Tottenham. I know there are rivals, and in the derby, anything can go. But back in the day, we were such an elite side that it was baby food.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but it was baby food.
Last few years, they've been better than us.
They have, but he's right in what he says there. You're right in what you say is that we shouldn't be focusing so much on Spurs.
Not solely.
No. We've beaten them. We've gone past that. We're looking past that. We're on 9 games unbeaten, heading towards our 10th game, hopefully against Watford. So we got to just kind of look at what's in front of us.
Yeah.
Not, like you said, keep too much focus on Spurs. I don't want to
But
do that.
you've got to be aware of the logistical threat
Yeah.
of a rejuvenated Tottenham team. And when you talk about new manager bounce, I'm going to be honest and say I'll be surprised if you don't see a new manager bounce. I really do. Because let's be honest, they've been awful.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get any worse, are they? So and let's be honest as well, Tottenham have some very, very good players.
Yeah.
Well, if this manager can get a tune out of those players, all of a sudden they're rejuvenated. And you know what I mean? It's a different team.
It is a different team. They're saying he's got 100 million to spend. I don't know if that is there in January. So you said they got good players. I mean, if they add to it, if they add to their current squad, you might see them start winning some games. Like I said, we say don't keep all our focus on them. I think Arsenal shouldn't, but me as an Arsenal fan, I will be keeping definitely a close eye on.
You'd be a fool not to.
Right, to see how they react to this new management. But again, thank you. We're gonna move past that, people, because I know, like I said, James and Turkey did a whole show on it yesterday. It is kind of...
It's still live talking.
It is. It's the biggest kind of news really in football right now. The next one as well, before I go into the William Saliba talk, is Unai Emery is linked to Newcastle.
Now that is again...
That's a worry. That's a worry.
Like, I'm looking at that, man, and I'm thinking, listen, man, he had his issues at Arsenal. It didn't go well for him in the end. But I think deep down, as Arsenal fans, we all know that he is a good manager.
Yep.
Didn't quite work out for him at Arsenal, but look at his track record. And look what happened last season, man. In the Europa League, he got his revenge over us.
He done us bad.
Bad. Look
and United as well,
yeah. So you know there's a good manager in there. And let's face it, he's been to the Premier League before with Arsenal. Mm-hmm. And that would only have made him a better manager. Because unlike when he took over at Arsenal, he was coming into this green.
Yeah.
Now he's been there. He's been up against the teams. He knows how the whole structure of the Premier League is, the culture of the Premier League, you know what I mean? He will be probably a better manager.
Yeah,
I think
do you
he
think
will
he'll flourish? Because obviously he'll have the money to buy whoever he wants, really.
That's it.
And obviously at Arsenal, yes, he made some signs, but not really. He didn't really have a team of his players per se. So it'd be interesting to see if he went to Newcastle, would he? Because he's done well against Arsenal today. He's in the Europa League, beat obviously United as well in the final. So, like you said, there must be a good manager in there somewhere. There's no denying that. With a Newcastle side with all the money you want.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a guaranteed success because there are other elements at play. I mean,
Newcastle could go down as well.
Exactly.
Let's not forget that. I'm not. That's being real. That's not me being
point.
disrespectful. They're not winning at all at the moment. They're playing really bad football, and the owners are in the stadium always watching. But right now, it's not going their way. So that could be a factor.
If Newcastle can get his services, that would be a very shrewd acquisition for Newcastle.
I think it's a good man. It's definitely a good manager to start with.
Yeah,
definitely.
And at the moment, they're no threat to us, really, are they?
No, not right now.
So it's going to take a while, but in time, I can see that project. There we go, that P word again. I can see that project looking at one that's quite ominous, man.
Yeah, I know. I remember Ian Wright was bantering with Alan Shearer saying, look where you lot are at the moment. He was like, yeah, give it 5 years. So you never know. In a couple of years, they could be up there. But for right now, it's not really someone we should be so fearful of, but definitely, again, keeping an eye out on what's going on there. Yeah. But that is the biggest news within football so far, is the Unai Emery and the Conte talk. But we have plenty more news to give to you. I've got a super chat here from Evan that says, happy birthday, bro. Y'all should come to Tampa. I'd love to come to Tampa.
Tampa Bay, Florida.
I've
been to Florida. I've never been to Tampa.
I've never. Robbie, if you're watching, release the funds. You can give us...
Robbie, it's like... You have to count on one hand the places he hasn't been.
He's been travelling, but yeah, thank you as well. My birthday obviously was yesterday. Nobody cares, but had a nice time off, and we're back, back in the studio, giving you the news that we need to give.
How old are you anyway? Tell your relay.
Yeah. Sorry, I realised I was laughing. We've been joking about that all day. No, I am 26 now, same age as James.
Okay.
Me and James are the same age now. He had his birthday obviously 2 weeks before mine. 26, man, getting old. Bloody.
Flies, right?
It does. I mean, yeah, we've had fun. Time's flying, and
You're still a baby, man. Trust me.
We're trying. Let me go into the next set of news today. So William Saliba. Now I'm sure everyone's seen his recent photos. We playing for Marseille, obviously defending against Mbappe, doing a madness. He made a last-ditch tackle. He's been, when I said flourishing just earlier, he really has been flourishing on his loan deal, and there's talks that he wants to return and come back. Actually, he's ready to come back.
Why wouldn't he?
Why he's ready. He wants to fight for that. But he wants to fight for that spot. I want to read this thing here. It says, from William Saliba's perspective, his expectation and desire as it stands to come back to Arsenal and prove himself at last. He is soon beginning a new course of English lessons to help improve his language skills, and he remains in contact with Arsenal teammates. I wonder who he talks to regularly, actually, in the Arsenal dressing room. The French man, them, innit? Yeah, but
and Aubameyang you could include in that French group.
Aubameyang's the captain. I'm hoping them two are in conversation, close conversation as well. Lacazette, I'm sure he's probably one of the person. Yeah, Pepe. Yeah. I think him and Pepe actually have a close relationship as well. So you're right there. But he's taken English lessons to improve his English, and I know that seems like a minute, a minute description to what I just spoke about, but there was talk that Arteta was saying he was battling with understanding communication within the English language, which I found was a bit of an excuse because a good player can play it. I think Gabriel, when he first came as well, his English wasn't great, but Gabriel's proved to be, for me, the best centre back at the club. So I didn't like the Arteta saying
arguably one of the best centre halves in the country.
Right. I mean, I'm glad you said it because I remember I spoke about respect on Gabriel's name. A lot of people, he's kind of gone under the radar, but he is.
I'm not
superb.
Saying.
Yeah, because
Liverpool fans,
they will get you Van Dijk. Yeah, they'll get
I'm saying at the
and
moment
the City
he's
fans
up
as well.
There, so don't be coming at me with all this. You know what I mean? But right now, on form, he's up there. There's no doubt.
There's no doubt.
But what I would say about Saliba is this, right? Is that number one, there's this whole mystery as to why he was seemingly excluded and he's had to go elsewhere. But put that aside for 1 minute. The way he's playing and the type of player that he is, and we've been told he is because we haven't seen it at Arsenal yet. We are a better squad with him in it. Absolutely 100%. I'm not saying he's going to walk straight into the team.
Okay.
I'm saying let's
unpack that.
Because you have to have your squad members. You're not going to tell me that William Saliba in that squad doesn't strengthen.
Okay, let's unpack it because we got a person here says, obviously Kieran says Saliba recalled in January would be such a huge boost for Arsenal.
Absolutely.
Ash Goddard says Saliba is a beast and I want him back at Arsenal. Yeah. So you're saying
he improves our squad.
He does. I'm not gonna deny that statement, but so he doesn't walk. You say he doesn't walk straight into the back.
Maybe not. He doesn't walk straight into the team, but it's a glorious problem for the manager to have.
Yeah, that's 100% true. But so you're saying he wouldn't? Because for me, he doesn't replace Gabriel. There's no way right now. Ben White. He's been doing really well over the past couple games. He has been showing his defensive nous and him driving and creating attack, driving through from defense to attack. So I've liked Ben White. Saliba, for me, like you said, he wouldn't really walk into the side. But for a backup option over Holding, Chambers, Mari, yes, he for me he strengthens the back line there as a backup. But is it too early to call him back? Like obviously that comment there says bring him back in Germany. Okay.
Now listen, the way I look at this is this, right? Football should be a meritocracy, meaning that if you're good enough and you are fortunate enough to get in the team and you play well, you stay there. You've seen that with Ramsdale. When Ramsdale first come to the club, be honest, did you see him usurping Leno like that? None of us saw that, man. In fact, some Arsenal fans, and you know you are, I'm not one of them, you're not one of them, but giving this man bare stick.
Yeah.
And I hadn't even seen him play yet. You know what I mean? And I thought that was a bit unfortunate. But anyway, since then, Ramsdale has gone on to not just be our number one choice, he's almost becoming a cult hero within the club, isn't he?
Facts.
Who's to say Saliba won't have the same impact? At some point, he's going to get an opportunity, whether it be by injury, loss of form, or by he might play in one of the cup competitions. And if he plays well and he stands out, this is why I talk about meritocracy. People like me and you and all the fans out there, they're going to look at that and say, you know what, he needs to be in the team.
Yeah, see, but this
if he plays himself into the team again on merit and he stays there, then.
But this is where
this is great.
This is where, as a fan, as an Arsenal fan, it gets tricky because you're right, on merit, he goes into the side. But for us, me as a fan, I know myself personally, given that time, or me as a player actually say, I don't know if Saliba wants that time, Laurie, to come back after these loan spells. Doing really, really exceptionally well on these loan spells and want to sit on the bench and wait for his turn to prove himself. Like, if we look at Ramsdale came in, he got brought to the side and he kind of went into the number one spot. There was no, I think he waited maybe a few games, but I think he would have, when he got signed, I think he was told, like, we're bringing you in to be number one. We're bringing you in to be number one.
No, but that was in the future. He got his opportunity earlier than he would have expected.
Yeah, in the cup game, and then he had a run of clean sheets.
No, but that was because Leno and the contract situation, and Leno was making noises about
him was a leave at the
that inadvertently opened the door for Ramsdale, and he's kicked that door down. Now, what I'm saying to you is, and you will understand this because you played football at a very high level, or so you keep telling them.
You're reminding them. I'm not saying nothing. Don't give me that. I'm just.
No, but you have. No, I haven't. He's played at a high level. But anyway, in any walk of life, bro, if you prove yourself, you're given the opportunity, and you prove yourself. We're always told about, you get to where you get to on merit.
That's how I think life should be. Yeah.
Exactly. So. At some point he's going to get an opportunity, isn't he, when he comes back? Like I said, it could be through the cup competitions, it could be unfortunate through injury, it could be through loss of form, sending offs. He's going to get an opportunity at some point. If he performs at the level that we think he can, right? Then it's highly probable, man, that he's going to probably nail down a first team place.
Okay.
That, if I could just finish, is a good problem for the manager.
100%.
And me and you, as fans, we've got no personal horse in the race. Like, I like all of those guys, Ben White, Gabriel. Don't get me wrong, I do like Gabriel.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, if Saliba's forcing him out on form, on merit, you can't argue with that. Okay. It's good for the team.
It is. It does.
Teams play better when there's competition for places.
That's true as well.
And if Saliba's going to come into the squad, he enhances that squad. I've got absolutely no problem with it.
Okay,
neither should any of the fans.
Yeah, Muth here says we don't have issues at the back now. We should focus on the front and mid. Now that is
now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I mean?
We're in a glorious place. It's just with the Saliba thing. I just think. Now I love Saliba. I want him to come in and walk into that first team and into the back line. But again, I just know that it doesn't. Football doesn't work like that. You're gonna take time. You're gonna have to work on merit and get into the side. But what I'm saying is,
to me, he enhances the squad, and that's what you want.
He does. You
need competition for places.
I think it'll be very clear once, I guess, one of the defenders are out, maybe due to injury or whatnot. If we go down short at the back, and then if the replacement comes in and doesn't fill the shoes, then it'll be more so that we will want Saliba even more to return. But he's in great form. I think he's had so many loan spells.
It was Murray, we had Holding, we had
Chambers was there. Yep.
All of a sudden we've settled on Gabriel and Ben White. But again, as well as those two guys are playing, and they are playing very well, situations change. As I said, injuries, loss of form, sending offs, possibly, we don't know. But all those situations can throw up different, conundrums, and it's for the manager. That's why he gets so well paid.
Yeah, it's his job. It's a good problem to have right now.
And on another level, I've always wanted to see what Saliba would be like in an Arsenal shirt. I was hearing the same stories you was hearing. The new Varane, the new this.
Yeah. He's dubbed.
We've never seen that in an Arsenal shirt, and like people like me and you. I've been scratching our heads as to why this guy hasn't been given his chance.
Yeah, the whole situation.
I'm actually quite excited to see him come back.
Yeah, the situation was murky.
Now we will see how good he is.
No, we are. I'm very excited to see how good he is, and again, the situation of him going on so many loans was very murky. No one really gave us the true story of why and why they kept sending him on loan and what was going on. I know he had some personal issues, but I think now is kind of the time after the loan spell's done to be in Arsenal.
It's a bit late, but better late than never, as they say.
Correct. Evan says, think Guendouzi could make this team better. He says, I do. Do you?
Well, from all accounts, Guendouzi's having a good season. So who knows? Again, you can't write... Sport is one of those genres, isn't it, where you can't write somebody off completely until it's totally done. You have to give people their opportunities. Who knows, man? We'll see.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to say too much on Guendouzi because personally I don't think he will better the side. But from one player that was here, and obviously,
I think with Guendouzi, I think most people would agree it's not the talent that was the issue.
No, there's more the attitude
and the attitude.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So if you can get that right, again, he comes back. Does he make us a better squad? Some would say he does.
Yeah, I think within the Arteta side, the way I know how Arteta really focuses on attitude, and I think he likes to be very authoritative in his management. I think Guendouzi may rock that, and that's probably why he wouldn't make better the side as Arteta being manager. For me personally, that's what I believe.
You know what it could be? It could be a maturity thing because listen, people mature at different rates.
Yeah.
Not talking about talent now. We're talking about attitude. Sometimes young guys, they're what we call knuckleheads, man. They don't listen. They think they know it all. They're arrogant, whatever. I'm not saying that Guendouzi is. I'm just speculating here. It could be that he's a late bloomer in terms of his mental maturation. You know what I mean? So maybe him going out on loan and being elsewhere.
Yeah,
it's giving him a chance to knuckle down, and maybe he will get it.
True. There's been times in the tunnel that there's been some actual problems of him in his loan, and there's also been him in Instagram with Pepe and whatnot, talking about the club, and so there's little things that for me just don't sit right. But as a player, maybe he would. But what I actually believe in him coming back and better in this side right now under Arteta, probably not for me.
You've got to remember as well, he's a young guy, man.
He is a young guy. You know
but and young guys do tend to make a lot of mistakes when they're younger.
Agreed. And from one player like Guendouzi, potentially making a return to make the club better, to another player, that there's rumours that Arsenal are keeping a close eye on Dani Ceballos. They're saying that he might be able to make this. I'm going to read the statement because this is from according to El Nacional. Says Arsenal could reignite their interest in former loanee Dani Ceballos. Real Betis are also named as one of the front runners for Ceballos, who struggled for consistency during his time at the Emirates Stadium. However, according to the report from Spain, Mikel Arteta may be about to make a move for former Gunners midfielder. Now, I'm going to ask you guys watching, and I'm going to ask you, Laurie, Ceballos to return. Yes or no? Would you be happy with it? Yes or no? Be honest.
I must admit, I'm scratching my head at that one. That surprised me, I must say. I think it's fair to say that Dani Ceballos was underwhelming during his time at Arsenal. There is a good player there, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, because when he first came, a lot of people think Dani Ceballos. We thought we got something special here, you know what I mean?
But I think it's fair to say that overall, he didn't quite live up to expectation. It fizzled out a little bit. And even with regards to the player, he seemed like he was more than happy to go at the end of the day, to me. It seemed like it was a mutually beneficial thing that he went back to Spain.
Yeah, I think he was back. I think he was back pretty quick. I'm sure. Yeah. I remember when his loan finished, he was back in Spain like that.
Yeah, he seemed to be instantly. Yeah, he seemed to want it. We seem to be happy with it. Now a few months later, people are talking about him coming back.
Not for you.
I'm surprised. Not for me. No.
Okay.
No. I think that ship sailed.
Yeah, a lot of people. I'm going to be honest. A lot of people on your side here in the comments saying no. No
disrespect to Danny. I'm sure he's a good player. Well, we saw glimpses. We
did. I think you're right though. He didn't really fulfill.
He did not.
I think there was moments where it was like, oh yes, he's had a good game and he got us out of one there. But overall, towards the end as well, especially, that.
To me, he never did enough to justify an extension of that loan or him coming back. And I think in those positions now, we seem to be sorting ourselves out in midfield and so forth. So we could be better, obviously, but I'm not sure if he's the answer. So,
I'm gonna be honest. This one surprised me.
When you told me that today, I was like, "Right."
It surprised me.
You noticed my facial expression, right? I was like, "What?"
Yeah, no, it surprised me.
I thought it was fake news. You sure it's not fake news?
Well, no, it might be. Listen, it might be clickbaitty. It's a source. I've given
the source. That sounds like fake news.
It's not fake. Listen, it's on the article. I told you.
Where's the source?
El Nacional. It's a Spanish news report. So, let's just chill.
Yeah, well, let's see.
This is where it's come from. But they're saying he's keeping a close eye on Dani Ceballos. For me, again, it doesn't really make sense for me either. Martin Odegaard, we've got him back, and
I have to say Odegaard needs to step his levels up. I mean, I know you were big on him.
I am.
You and James.
I like
big on Odegaard,
and I'll put my hands up. I like Odegaard. Yes, he hasn't of recent. we've actually been a better side of him not in the side, and that's the truth. But he has amazing technical ability.
Oh no, yeah,
he's a good player. He can pull off good moments. He's command on the ball. He demands.
But then we said the same about Ceballos, didn't we? Did we not?
Yes.
Is that kind of falling into the same category?
No, because I think Martin Odegaard's a lot younger. He still has a lot more to offer, I believe, in this Arsenal side. I've seen more from Odegaard than I saw from Ceballos in the time that he was at Arsenal.
I can remember when Ceballos came and he had a couple of good games. Man was saying he's the new Santi. Remember that?
I don't know. I mean, I was.
You
here.
remember that?
No,
right?
no.
Yeah, but you heard that.
I've heard that. But
I heard one
I
or
was
two
definitely
man.
not on that.
I know
hymn
you
sheet.
weren't.
There's no way I'm on that hymn sheet.
But fans, you know what I mean? We can be a bit fickle like that.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen. But Odegaard for me and Ceballos are two different players. I think Martin Odegaard definitely has a high C, and I think just right now it's not clicking. We've got a strong side, and what Arteta's got with the boys is working. So.
Yeah, give him time. Give him time.
On merit, he has to work his way back in. Like
at the moment,
earlier. Yeah,
he needs to
up the levels.
Up the levels, bro.
Matt Fuza says, "Yo, Cecil, what player are you looking for in January?" I'll throw that out to you as well. For me, in January,
Mbappe.
You're dreaming, my guy. Mbappe, jeez, a striker. Controversial because I know Aubameyang and Lacazette are currently finding form. They're doing well within the side, but I think that goes with saying that we need more than that. Yes, I'm a fan of Balogun. I want to see more of him. I want to see him more integrated. I don't know why he doesn't get potentially to start at cup games. I know he comes off the bench every now and then.
Well, Eddie's ahead of him.
That's why I'm saying I think we need a striker. And I know that sounds harsh because Eddie has been proving himself of recent. Every opportunity he's got, he's scored. So that's no disrespect to him, but I just feel like he's come towards the end of his reign at Arsenal. I thought he was one of the players that'd be looking to move on and further his career.
Although interestingly, the manager was on the record recently as saying that he would like Eddie to stay.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
having a future at the club.
Yeah, 100%. That's why he said he's come on and he's been scoring goals. I think you're right there. That the manager does like him, but we need a more. I just think that the striking area we definitely need to strengthen.
All right.
I haven't got an exact name though. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's all right saying you want a striker.
I haven't got a name.
Give me the name and not just throw out the Mbappes of this world. You've got to come with somebody that's realistic.
Haaland.
Haaland's
I don't think
impossible
that's
as
very
well.
realistic. Right?
Do you know what? When rumours were going around about Ivan Toney, obviously now it's not going to happen. But before,
we're not going to get.
I know, but when the rumours were going around, I wasn't too angry at that either. And he's proven to be a good striker in the Premier League so far. So I don't know. I just feel like we definitely need a striker. That is someone potentially.
It's going to be difficult because you're basically asking somebody to come to Arsenal and play a relative second fiddle role to Aubameyang, and that's what's been at the hindrance of Lacazette, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because he's not had the opportunities to play up front and play through the middle that he would like to do. Anyone you bring in are coming into Arsenal on the understanding that Aubameyang is our main guy.
Yeah.
That limits your options in terms of the type of calibre of player you're going to get. Because like I said, you're not going to get... Certain men are not going to leave their clubs and come to Arsenal to be second fiddle. So for example, I know some Arsenal fans, and I'm one of them, that have talked about players like Callum Wilson, Newcastle, good player, good goal scorer.
Yeah.
Slight injuries concerns, but he's a very good player on his day. And he'd kind of be ideal for that second striker role.
I like Callum Wilson. Do
you think he's going to come to Newcastle and play second fiddle to Aubameyang?
Come to Arsenal. Oh, yeah, come to Arsenal. No,
he's not going to do that.
No, not even that. Not even that, because Callum Wilson for me is too similar to Lacazette. I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, if you're going to bring a striker in, you need someone of a different sort of ilk than Callum Wilson. And
like
I see a lot of people saying Isaac, and he's a young striker.
Isaac?
Yeah, Isaac.
The Swedish guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Young, tall. He's a goal scorer. And people are saying invest more in the youth. I guess you can then argue, why
is he a prolific goal scorer?
He scores goals. I'm not saying like
he's prolific though.
I don't know his exact stats.
I don't think he is.
But we've been linked to him for a while.
Yeah, we have.
And he has been making headlines. You can't see it happening?
Because he's not going to give up first team football to come play second fiddle to Aubameyang.
But he might be in the same team as Aubameyang. He might play the two strikers which are doing at the moment, Aubameyang and Lacazette. It might be Aubameyang and someone else. So Lacazette's contract is coming towards an end. So we do need to fill that spot. And some people may even argue as well, not just the strikers that we need to kind of bring into the club.
I know where you're going.
You know where I'm...
But that ain't going to work.
That position where Pepe plays, Might need
Right.
some.
Oh, sorry, right. I thought you was talking about dropping Aubameyang and bringing in someone.
No.
Relegating Aubameyang to number 2. That's
listen,
not going to work.
I'm a fan. You know, I'm not.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying people are toying with that idea, but I don't see that's going to work.
No, I don't think he'll drop Aubameyang as of yet as well. He's
yeah.
starting to find form. I think it'd be harsh to drop him, especially right now. But I'm just saying that Pepe position as well, the right wing. I know someone who plays on the left plays better on the left for me, but that right wing position also might need strengthening, depending on what we do with Pepe. I haven't been convinced at all with Pepe so far. So far it's been almost 2 years now. But you know, I mean, that might need strengthening as well. But I can't give names too much. I'm going to be honest, I haven't got exact names. But I think Isaac, I wouldn't be angry at that as a signing.
No, he's a good player. I remember watching him in the Euros and playing for Sweden, and he looked very good.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a what they call prolific in front of goal. So that's something to consider.
All right, that's you're very right there. Let's quickly just speak. I saw someone say there. I said about Ceballos returning. I didn't agree that I want him to return. Someone said, "How can you not want Guendouzi but want Ceballos?" I don't want Ceballos. I don't want both of them. That's kind of that, in my opinion.
No, you're just reporting the news.
I'm reporting what's been.
Don't shoot the messenger, man. What?
You get it a lot. No, I get it. That's fine.
Don't shoot the messenger. Man, just reporting the news.
And I want to get you guys' opinions and Laura's opinions.
Come on now. You know what I mean? It's only 26.
It's Rams that. Don't throw my age out. I'm a big man now. Now, I was been a big man. Let's talk about Ramsdale.
Yeah.
Now, there's a chance going around at Leicester. I'm going to say
Curry, goat and rice.
Curry, goat and rice, ackee and saltfish, chicken and dumpling, all of that. Yeah. There was chance going around saying England's number
Levi
one.
Roots, that's what I've got him now.
Obviously, we know, if you guys don't know, Aaron Ramsdale likes a Jamaican dish. Hold tight, Ramsdale likes the ITEL food and
I call him Levi Roots.
Levi Roots. Aaron Ramsdale, England number one. Should he be England's number one? Ooh. You guys, has he done enough to... He's definitely done...
England number one? Pickford?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, on current form... But you know, the manager, Gareth Southgate, has always made this big thing about loyalty.
Yes.
And players that have done well for him. So I can't see Ramsdale unseated him yet. But I'll tell you what, if he carries on this way... You can't overlook him.
Yeah, in the qualifiers, I think he does. I think
definitely be in the squad.
I think he does. I actually think my bias is coming out, but from what I've seen from him and how much, like you said, he's becoming a cult hero here at Arsenal. I think he deserves in the qualifiers to at least be over Pickford. Just start him. I know, not even to take away from Pickford, because maybe when it comes to
he'll get an opportunity. He'll get an opportunity. Sooner
I think you're sorry.
And like I said,
he deserves it.
Meritocracy. He'll get an opportunity sooner or later. We've got a number of games coming up.
Yep.
There will be an opportunity will come sooner rather than later, and when it comes, if he takes it, he'll be in the shake-up, man. And then if he gets a little run and he proves himself, he'll keep the number one jersey.
Yeah,
that's how football's supposed to work.
That's how it should be. Angry Gunnar 10 says Pickford in the mud. Best in the world 13 times says Pickford ain't doing well, to be honest. So it should be right for Ramsdale to.
Well, Pickford's in a team now that's struggling for confidence. They lost their last 4. Whereas Ramsdale is the absolute epitome of confidence right now. He's in a team that's unbeaten in their last 8.
Yep.
That save he made the other day was one of the better saves I've seen in a number of years. You know what I mean? So that shows you. And then his distribution is brilliant. His decision making is good. Everything is spot on right now.
Yeah. K Zorda says stop overhyping him. Do you think that's
why
an unfair...
am I overhyping him?
Yeah, do you think that's an unfair...
How am I overhyping him? I said he made one of the best saves in recent years. I said he's the epitome of confidence. I said he loves curry, goat and rice. What more do you want? How can that be?
That's on his resume.
Roots.
Make me England number one. I love dumpling and rice. But yeah, no.
What more do you want, man?
No, for real though, Ramsdale, he deserves an opportunity. I know he is in England side, but he deserves to definitely
be in there on nutrition alone.
Oh my god! All right, cool. Let's
move on.
Let's move on to the next bit of news. Now, I do definitely want to get towards
this manager of the month thing.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to kind of get to. We're heading slowly to that. We're gonna do actually. Do you know what? We're gonna go to that, but before we do that, I have to give a shout out to the women. I just have to. They're in the final of the FA Cup. They just beat Brighton 3-0. So big up the women. Before that, they slapped Palace 9-0. Wow. Right now, the women are guaning with things. Let me tell you that right now. They're being unbeaten in the league. They're firing. I know Ty's a big fan of the women. He's the guy for it, the Arsenal women's team. But boy, they've been on smoke of recent. So just big them up. They're in the final. Give them a little round of applause. I don't know who the final's going to be played. Oh, it's against Chelsea. I did know that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
Arsenal
yeah.
playing Chelsea in the finals. I have a friend in the Chelsea women team, Drew Spence.
Maybe we should go down and try and get.
Oh no, definitely. We'll try and get it covered
we'll
here
try and go,
on the AFTV. I mean,
yeah.
definitely for that game,
Yeah.
we'll be
I
down
know
there.
Pippa want to go as well, won't she? Because she follows the team.
Oh yeah,
She goes
Pippa's
to the games,
Pippa's very much
No,
involved.
man. Listen, a shout out, big respect. Yeah.
Okay, right. Towards the end of the show now, people, let's do first, before we do manager of the month and we kind of debate who deserves it, is Arteta in the running, we've got to do player of the month. The voting went out today from Arsenal, the Arsenal official site, official page. Player of the month, the people up for
It's
it.
not even close, is it?
Well, people are up for it. It's Aaron Ramsdale's up for it. Emile Smith-Rowe. Now, a lot of people, listen, don't overlook Emile Smith-Rowe.
No,
you know.
I'm not.
When I speak to fans, they have been saying he is the saviour.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Especially this month. He's switched on. You heard Carragher say he's the best dribbler of the ball in the
I heard
league.
that, yeah.
So there's a lot of talk around Emile Smith-Rowe as well. So Aaron Ramsdale, Emile Smith-Rowe, Gabriel. Now, I'm going to be honest.
I'm a big fan of Gabriel.
Thank you very much. And as much as I want to say Ramsdale, Gabriel, for me, I have so much love for him. Like I said, he was underrated so heavily, and I feel like he might be picked from my side. I'm going to get everyone else's opinions. And then lastly, Aubameyang, our captain. So 4 players up for October's Player of the Month. People in the comments, let me know out of those 4 who you would decide. Laurie, let's discuss between us both. Out of those 4 players.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think if I'm being honest, it's down to 2, man, really. And that would be ESR and Levi Roots.
Ramsdale. For anyone that's
I've
joined
got to
us
go
late.
with Ramsdale, man.
You gonna go with Ramsdale?
You know why as well? It's because, like I said, it's something to do with his cult of personality, man. He's kind of epitomising that new Arsenal that we're seeing. The confidence, you know what I mean? The way he is with the fans. Yeah, man. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Smith-Rowe as well. So it is close.
This is
But
interesting.
I'm gonna edge towards Ramsdale because of the impact he's having, not just on the pitch with the players, right? But his character and what he's representing right now. He seems to be the epitome of that kind of new Arsenal that we're seeing.
Does Smith-Rowe not offer that as well?
Yeah,
though?
he
He's got
does.
the 10
he does.
shirt.
No,
He's got a
but
lot of pressure on his
it's not
shoulders.
just
He's young. He's been
absolutely. It's not a
scoring,
one-man
assisting.
band. It's not a one-man band because, like you said, you got Gabriel there. Like even Aubameyang, you know me, man.
Oh, yeah, I
I'm
know
team
you
Aubameyang.
love Aubameyang.
I love Aubameyang.
I love Aubameyang, but you
Yeah,
love
no,
Aubameyang.
that's my guy. You know what I mean? And I'm pleased to say that when certain people, not too far from here, were casting doubts on the big man, I was one of those saying, yo, allow that, man. Aubameyang's, you know what I mean?
Now the photo's up, we can talk, Before,
So listen, so you know me. So for me to put Levi Roots above Aubameyang, you know, bro, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm on a serious note, I'm edging it to Ramsdale because like I said, it's not just the performances on the pitch, it's the charisma he has, the impact he's had on the team, and like I said, he's epitomising that kind of new Arsenal that we're seeing. That more confident, more vibrant, you know what I mean? And Smith-Rowe and Ramsdale have done as much as anyone in that team to further that, but let's give Ramsdale his flowers this month.
Okay. Well,
I'm giving it to Ramsdale.
All right, so Robert J.
Smith-Rowe, well done, but to me...
Robert J says Ramsdale, then Smith-Rowe. Stanley says Gabriel. Rohit says no doubt Gabriel. Then Gonzalo says ESR. Utabi says Ramsdale easy. Ramsdale for sure, says Timmy. There's
a number of guys there.
It's actually difficult.
refreshing.
It's a nice conversation to have. It's a nice problem to have. I think
is.
Ramsdale is definitely he's definitely a good shout. Emile Smith-Rowe as well. I like Gabriel because he's the unsung hero in the side. He really is. He's for me, defending's been great, and obviously our defense record has been really good, and that's down to Ramsdale as well. But obviously Gabriel for me has been leading it. I saw someone also mention Tomiyasu, which I think he has to give a shout to him as well because he's been solid.
Yeah, listen, man, there's been a number of players that have played well. Lacazette's played well. Aubameyang's played well. You know what I mean? Tavares coming last week was out. So Sambi's done well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? There's a number of players who have stepped up.
No, it is. They have stepped up, and I think we're going to have to kind of pass it over to Ramsdale, which
I'd give it.
I wonder who Arsenal are going to pick. I wonder who the voters are going to pick. Sorry, it's not even Arsenal that pick it. It's us as the fan base that select it. But I think Ramsdale will get it. I think the save from the Leicester free kick really put him to GOAT level. I'm going to be completely honest. I think that epitomised everything. That was the talking point throughout the whole game. I don't know if the other...
Listen, if you can go away from home against one of the better teams in the Premier League, win 2-0, and your goalkeeper is basically man of the match, that tells you a lot. And
because he kept a clean sheet in that game, I think that edges it. It was in October as well, so that is in the month. I don't know if Smith Rowe, Gabriel or Aubameyang had moments like that to solidify them as player of the month. I think that Ramsdale save really kind of tips it off the back of the month.
And you know what as well, I would say that, it's nice to see a goalkeeper get the flowers.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's often an overlooked position.
I used to cuss goalies because I'm a striker. I used to laugh at them. I'm like, I'll put it in the top bins, mate.
It's a bit like down the road at Chelsea, a lot of fans saying that Mendy doesn't get the flowers he should get.
Yeah.
Or doesn't get the credit he deserves. I mean, people are talking about him being shortlisted for the Ballon d'Or. Now...
Wait, who? Mendy?
Really? Yeah, that's what I've heard, yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's because goalkeepers very rarely are in the shake-up for things like that. So that's why it'd be another good thing if Ramsdale won it.
Okay. Shref, I missed some super chat. Shref says, let's cherish Arteta victories. Conte is going to take over Spuds, and either this season or next, he's going to embarrass Arteta real bad. Mark my words, missed opportunity. I see a lot of fans.
Is that from a Tottenham fan?
No, it's from Shref's a regular. He's one of our mediators as well. So but I guess
embarrass is a bit of a strong word, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like to say that they're going to embarrass us because again, it's a derby. You never know what's going to happen. And if I had my doubts when we played them this season, we slapped them. So I wouldn't want to say that too early, too soon. But
what I would say is
a lot of fans wanted Conte. A lot of Arsenal fans are gutted that we missed that opportunity. But you know,
I know my boy Curtis. Shout out to Curtis actually. Curtis Shaw from Curtis Shaw TV.
he does this every time.
No, but that's my guy.
No,
man.
I know he's my guy as well. Big up Curtis.
Big up Curtis, man. I know he's watching as well.
Okay, big up my guy. Today. I love that you do that every time. Real one.
But Curtis is a big Conte fan, and I've spoken to Curtis, and I know he's a little bit worried about Conte taking over because he's seeing it the way I see it, is that inevitably Spurs are going to get better. Yeah. And when they do, then they're an obvious rival to us in more ways than one. So, you know what I mean? Fans are right to be a little bit concerned.
They are. We've had...
But you know what I think? I think it's good for the Premier League to have top managers like Conte in the Premier League. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
Yeah, that's how you feel about the owners of Newcastle.
Yeah, I think it's good for the Premier League, man.
Yeah, football's it's competition. Yeah, we want to make the sport the best. We want to make the Premier League the best.
To be the best league in the world.
Exactly.
And we want Arsenal to do the best that they can in the best league in the world.
Correct.
That's what all the fans should want.
Okay.
You don't want to have a reduced product just so you can say you're the best. That's not how I look at it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's not how you
look
at it.
No, of course. That's like saying, I'm only here to compete, not to win.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you win, but it's not very good product. No, you want the best possible product and you want the best possible Arsenal.
So then you feel like an actual champion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the Invincibles, shall we say, when they went unbeaten. We done it the best way you can do it.
Absolutely.
Unbeaten.
That way you can stick out your chest and say, yeah, man, I'm proud to be an Arsenal fan.
Correct. Phantom Muzzy says, right now, Ramsdale is at 51% and Emile Smith-Rowe is on 31% on the official on the official website.
Well, that kind of echoes what I said, although I thought it might be a bit closer now. But the fact that he's got 51% does kind of echo what I was saying.
I think it's deserved. I think it's deserved. All right, time for the title and time to get on it. Arteta for Manager of the Month again, potentially in October. Now, let me just run down some of the numbers quickly, just so people get a clear idea. Number crunch. So Arsenal's month. So obviously this is for the month of October. The month of October, sorry. So we kicked it off with a draw against Brighton, 0-0 on the 2nd of October. That was a rough one. The weather was terrible, but the performance wasn't actually good either. So that may hinder him. We got a 2-2 draw against Crystal Palace.
Desmond.
Yep, and the 18th.
I predicted that on the Talk is Cheap show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Big up the Talk is Cheap. Make sure you check that out on AFTV. Come on, I got you. I got you as well.
Plug.
18th of October. That again wasn't a great performance, but we didn't lose. Okay, so we didn't lose there.
Shout out to Patrick Vieira, man.
Yeah.
Legitimate Arsenal legend, doing a
100%.
very good job at Palace.
100%.
So
And
let's big him up.
big him up every time. He's a legend. He's one of my favourite
One of
players
my
as well of all
favourite
time
ever
as well.
players.
And then Aston Villa, this is where kind of the tide changed. We slapped them 3-1.
Proper things.
Proper
Slapped up Villa.
game.
In a game that I thought Villa would be a test for us. You know what I mean?
Right. Bro, I thought we was going to lose.
Did you?
Yeah,
Really?
I predicted we was going to lose.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I'm going to be honest.
I knew he would win, but I predicted a hard-fought game. And let's be honest, man, I was wrong, wasn't I? Because we slapped them.
We actually battered.
You know what I mean? I think that was probably our most rounded and convincing performance of the season. Some people would say
Leicester, yeah.
But Leicester did put it on us a little bit in the second. I know I'm preempting things, but yeah, to go back to the Villa game, I was expecting a hard game. Villa got some very good players, and they'd already beaten Man United a few weeks before that, and I thought, yeah, man, this could be difficult. But we totally controlled that game from start to finish.
We did, and obviously we did concede, but it was a sloppy goal to concede, and I think Arsenal did really turn the corner. Actually, saying that goal was when it just struck out of nowhere. It was a good finish, to be fair. But 3-1 to Arsenal. That was on 22nd of October. We won in the cup 2-0 against Leeds. Again, to be honest, it wasn't a great performance, but we did win. I think once the goal went in, we started flowing a bit more.
I said it on previous shows, right, that I'm old school when it comes to cups. Yeah, I'm not so concerned with a performance. When you're in a cup competition, your emphasis is on winning and getting through to the next round.
That's very true.
That, so I was happy with that. I wasn't dissecting the performance and saying, because I fully know what went on. The manager made a number of changes. It's a different type of game, but the guys that come in, Eddie and Ketchers of this world, they come in, they did their thing. We got the win. I'm not complaining about that at all.
Interesting.
And we got a decent draw out of it.
Yeah, for me, it depends who's on the pitch. If we've got senior players on the pitch, first team players, regular players in a cup game, I expect a performance. If you're playing with a weakened side, which actually, in fairness, it was a weakened side. It wasn't. I think we only had two players from the starting 11 that are regular starters, which was Emil Smith-Rowe and Emil Smith-Rowe. There's only two players. There's another player that regularly starts in that side. So fair enough. We got the results. So I'm not too angry at that. And Arteta got it right, making that many substitutions. I've got to give it to him. He did the right decision and got it right. And then lastly, Leicester on the 30th of October, we won 2-0, and that was probably
another tremendous performance.
Correct.
But now, it wasn't for me quite as convincing as the Villa, because when we played Leicester in that second half, we rode our luck a little bit.
Yeah,
they came at us hard. Innit? Let's be honest. But don't get me wrong, we saw out the game well. We managed the game very well, but we wasn't as dominant as we was against Villa.
Okay.
But arguably it was as good a performance. But for me, the Villa one, man, the way we came out the traps, bossed the game, scored the goals, we just looked on another level to Villa that night. Yeah. So I'm edging that one. But the Leicester was a very convincing performance.
Okay, I see you guys all in the comments. They're saying Tuchel should win it. Tuchel by
you know what? We're going to talk about it.
We'll go through Chelsea's run, because I'm going to be honest. It's not one to dismiss. They had a good run, but Tuchel won it in August. Arteta won it in September. So this is good. This is good so far. So quickly, October, Chelsea beat Southampton 3-1. They beat Brentford 1-0. Very good result, by the way, because Brentford have been on great form, and Chelsea away. Chelsea won in the Champions League 4-0 to Malmo. Chelsea beat Norwich 7-0. And in the AFL Cup, they won on penalties 4-3, which was a poor game from Chelsea, but they won. Like you said, there's the result that matters.
You got through.
Exactly. And then on the 30th, they beat Newcastle 3-0. So realistically, it's between, for me, for this month, it's going to be it's Arteta and Tuchel, but they are back-to-back currently winners of the Manager of the Month. So who wins it? I think a lot of people have said Tuchel here. I think Arteta definitely has an argument to say, he's now on the up. It depends on what happens in November. But for me, after I read them numbers there, I think Tuchel probably will win it. But it's definitely a conversation to see if Arteta will get it. What about you?
I'm going to keep it real, man. I think Tuchel. It's got to be Tuchel for me, because look at what they got. I think it was 6 wins at the top of the table, and some of those wins as well are in the Champions League, which we're not in. We're not in Europe, so we ain't got those added extra pressures. Arteta's done really well. But for me, Tuchel.
Okay.
He's the deserving winner of that.
You're right there. What you said, we haven't got.
We
haven't got those extra games. We've got to be real. I think he's done well with the extra games, especially with the players and the fitness and keeping them sharp and winning these games comfortably. I mean, the 7-0 against Norwich. That's mental.
Chelsea were my tips for the Premier League title before the season started.
Same.
And the way they're playing at the moment, I've got no reason to see past them. Although I think Liverpool and City will test them, but I'm kind of looking forward to the end of the season, and I see them winning the title, man.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm saying, I said it here.
You said it here. All right, let's wrap.
People will in May they'll probably say, oh, if the Chelsea don't win it, but that's what what I mean.
Nah, man. Say how you feel, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to put your neck on the line.
Like a long time.
Yeah,
man,
same. I do the same stuff.
I see certain things in this Chelsea team: the resilience, the squad, the manager. You know what I mean? And they look to me like potential title winners.
Yeah, sometimes you feel things. I said Jadon Sancho would be a flop way before he came. I got gunned down by the Man United fans. Proven to be so. I said about so far. I said about
he's a good player, man.
Yeah, I said about West Ham knocking out Man City. I said I feel like this is what's going to happen. It happened. Like sometimes you just got to put your neck out on the line. But it is what it is.
Did you say that would you have predicted that West Ham would be fourth after 10 games or whatever?
No.
You wouldn't, would you?
No. I'd have said they were up there, but definitely not fourth. Yeah. Let me read these last super chats.
One thing I would say on that as well, the title, I do expect City and Liverpool to push Chelsea close. I don't think it's going to be one of those where they've got the title sewn up with 3-4 weeks to go.
Yeah.
I think it could go down to the wire. Okay. I hope it does as well, don't you?
Yeah, of course. That's what makes football interesting. I don't want to just see one team win and they're cruising and it doesn't matter.
Exactly,
forget all that. I like the competition. That's why I hated the idea of the Super League. But let's go into these last super chats before we wrap up. Lord with a Fang says, if Danny, he's talking about Danny Sabas, if Danny comes, I'm going to jump out the stands and slap him. Fair enough. AFC Max says, hey Cecil, I've got bad case of Cecilitis. After the Aston Villa game, watching the interviews, I'm nodding and saying facts. What's What's the cure?
Incurable.
It's incurable, my friend. Big facts. But yeah, and Shress says, last one to finish off, AFC is the frustrated kid with rich parents who are never invested. He never gets stuff he wants. His friends get better gifts every year. He studies real hard but gets told, think of the long term.
That's quite an interesting analogy.
Do you know what?
I don't know where you come up with.
Stress analogies are the top. He always comes with.
He?
Yeah,
right,
he's good with them. He's good with them. Big up Stress. But that is kind of Arsenal at the moment. But hey, we are a family. We don't get enough from our parents. We're on the neglected child right now. But you know what? It's all being documented, and I can't wait right now. Currently, as we stand, for this Amazon documentary. I know we're not going to talk about it at all, but when it airs, hopefully we do get potentially top 4. As LV says, we can win the league.
Well, you know what? You could accuse LV of getting carried away in the moment, but I actually spoke to him after, and I was like, "Bro, you really say that?" He was like, "No, bro, I genuinely believe he's seeing certain things that he believes if that momentum continues, we'll be genuine title contenders." So I'm not knocking it, bro.
Yeah.
I can't see it.
I can't either, but I like the enthusiasm.
I like to see that. Compared to how people were talking after the first 3 games, and it was doom and gloom.
Exactly,
remember that?
Exactly. I like the energy. I like the energy.
Yeah,
Listen,
the energy right now is different.
Hopefully this run continues.
And as I said to you before, Ramsdale is a big part of that.
He is. And that's why he's tipped right now to get the Player of the Month. And hopefully this form continues. Been very happy with the side so far. It's 9 games unbeaten. We're going to the Watford game this weekend. If we get the win, there's 10 games unbeaten before the international break. Thank you, Laurie, so much for joining me on this.
Let me just ask you a question before we go.
All right, go on.
And this is something I've been asking a lot of people in and around Arsenal, right? Arsenal fans. Are you hopped on that Arteta train right now? Keep it 100.
Keep 100?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
You on that train?
I am.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I said I can't lie. I said before the Leicester game, until I see what happens in this Leicester game, I'm not making my judgment right now on Arteta.
So you think the Leicester game was a turning point?
For me, yeah. I wanted to see how we did. We performed really well. I'm not saying he's gonna be the man for the long term, but definitely I'm sticking with him. I'm backing him, backing my manager. Yeah, I'm on the train. Run it, yeah. First class. I know what you're doing, you know.
Yeah,
I've got the ticket. Yeah,
booked your tickets for that train.
I'm riding with the manager for now.
No,
it is what it is.
That's cool, man.
I had my doubts. Yes, there's still problems with Arteta, of course, and that happens within the manager. But right now, I'm backing him, and I'm excited to see.
On that train.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited.
No, because listen, the reason why I asked that is because we're all here at the weekend in the AFTV studios, and the vibe around the place that I was picking up was one of genuine excitement. And that was epitomised by LV. And he made that bold statement after the game. And I said to him, you capping, bro, like, you really... He said, no, trust me. I'm seeing certain things now that I believe. I think he didn't say we would.
Yeah.
He said we can. And I said to him, are you capping, or do you really, truly believe that? And he said to me, he does. And I looked him in the eye and I thought, you know what? He's telling me the truth. So
okay,
and that's why I thought I'll ask you.
I know, before I wrap up, the reason why I'm on that train, I've got the ticket, whatever you wanted to say, is because the time I wanted Arteta out was the time where there was managers available that I wanted to see that could better this Arsenal side. Right now, if he left, I believe we'll be in a worse position because another manager has to come in. All the players right now are Arteta's players pretty much. So for them to I would have to go back through the rebuilding process. I haven't got time for that right now as a fan. I've seen signs in this side that have started to make me think, do you know what? If he gets everyone together, keeps the players fit, keeps them playing, no Europe this season, so we shouldn't have to struggle with fitness. We can probably climb up this table and get where I feel is a respectable position for this season. Yes, he's not going to be the man to get me where I want Arsenal to be of what I remember, but for now, I'm backing him. There's not a manager I want right now. I'll stick with Arteta. I'm on the train. I'll be intrigued to see.
A few years back.
Yeah, I know things could change, so I'll be intrigued to see what happens come Christmas time. Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Thank you all for watching.
Josh going mad in the background.
Josh,
big up Josh.
Big up Josh.
The energy bunny.
Josh,
time is money out here.
Time is money. Josh is ready to leave. Thank you all for watching tonight's News Daily, and make sure you tune in for tomorrow. There'll be a next one, and make sure you tune to all the AFTV content that is coming your way. We have got you covered. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Lauren.
I've enjoyed it, bro. Respect.